Hi, it's Lono. This video, honestly, is for anybody who's like dealing with living with family, trying to figure out who you are and find yourself, and how hard it is. Because like people talk about how hard it is, but people really don't talk about how much of a mental strength that it puts on you, and how much it's like difficult to really find and be yourself and love yourself when you're being yourself. Like, we take a lot of time to like make parents and family feel good, but we never like do what feel good to us, because simple fact, whenever we do something that feels good to us and it's for our highest good, we feel like our families, like, they disown us or they talk bad about us, make fun of us. And it's wrong. Like, I just seen the dragonfly. Like, no one should have to go through that, and a lot of us had to go through that to get to where we are, and a lot of us ain't even where we are yet, and and I feel like you just gotta be strong. Like, the more and more that you press who you are, the more and more that you realize what makes you happy, the stronger you'll get when it comes to people projecting their insecurities, or people, saying this, that, and the third, and making you feel a way. The easier it'll get to just naturally be yourself. Because it sucks. Especially being around people who are like really closed-minded, and traditionally they just do things that are just not of their highest good, and they just expect you to be that same way. And it sucks, like, because it's like, you want your family, you want the best for your family, you want the best for the people around you, but then you realize that the people around you ain't even supposed to be around you. They were just there to teach you a lesson. So it's like, and then when you learn that lesson, you can't like go back and try to, continue to fix something or continue to rebirth something that has died. Like, you gotta allow the relationship to die so you can go and find the people who are actually supposed to be in your life. Like, for years, I wanted to keep the family together. I wanted to just make peace everywhere I went, and just like try to just make people see things that they never wanted to see. Like, and then I had to realize, like, just because I have an understanding of the world differently, just because I have an understanding that you're supposed to think in unity, and supposed to think like, okay, I am you, you are me, so what qualities do you have within you that I know maybe I need to fix within myself, and like vice versa. And it sucks. I know how bad it hurts, because it's like, damn, like, I don't want to leave my old friends behind, I don't want to leave my parents behind, I don't want to leave my family behind, but you have to. Like, you cannot make a team full of people who do you wrong. Like, and they doing you wrong, but you just want to give them the benefit of the doubt, because it's just like, man, they don't know what they doing. But it's like, you cannot save them for what they got coming. Like, I've always wanted to save people from their karma, because it's like, I know I'm pure-hearted, I know, like, I'm a very kind person. I just seen a butterfly. I'm a very kind person, but like, in that same eye, like, I'm very vulnerable, and like, I attract sometimes the wrong people. And I'm learning to like use discernment. I'm learning to really like, okay, is this the type of people I want around me? Are these the type of energies that I need to align myself with, or am I in alignment with these types of people? And yeah, you just gotta learn how to just cut off what's not meant for you 100%, like cold turkey. And it's difficult at first, because you're like, okay, so if I cut this thing off, or if I cut this person off, or if I cut this relationship off, you know, where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do? Like, a lot of us have situations where we live with our family, you feel me? And it's not because like we don't know how to live on our own, or we you know, don't know how to be independent. It's just that's the cards that we were dealt, and the only place we can go is homelessness. And we all know, you know, homelessness, it can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. And I'm saying that meaning like it can be a good thing, like yes, you can find shelter, but you can find shelter in a place of people you have no idea about, you know. You never know what happens at night, you know. Like, a lot of people don't tell you the bad parts about living in shelters, don't tell you the bad parts about living house to house. Like, for my birthday this year, I was homeless. I had to, like, I literally just decided to just say forget it, even though I had to come back, because, and don't let people like make you feel bad for having to come back. It's just like, you just got to retrace your steps. And it's just like, I don't want to be here, but I got to deal with this until I, you know, map out my next move and plan it the right way instead of just leaving. You feel me? I don't have friends because of the simple fact, a lot of people who I thought were my friends were just people wanting to take my place, or just undercover hating the things that I did and who I was, just because I was so open and I was so like creative, and I like to do things just on a different spectrum. Like, I don't like to think like everybody else. I like to be that outside thinker that, you know, connects the puzzle pieces. I like to be that outside thinker that like thinks of something and somebody else can bounce back off it, so it can be way better than whatever it is. And I don't know, I always just wanted to make a team out of the people who were in my past, you know. And I knew everything about what they did to me. Like, I knew about the slander, I knew about, you know, people dealing with people I maybe used to date. I knew about, you know, people fooling with my family. I knew about my family talking crap about me. I knew about, you know, I just knew about a lot of stuff that people did to me. People who stole from me, people who just made me out to be who they were. Like, they'll tell lies to people about this, that, and the third, and the whole time they're that type of person, and I'm a whole different person, and I'm on a whole different subject. Like, and I just had to, like, I had to make sure I was right about myself. But that was also my problem. I second guessed myself when it came to these types of people, because I was like, man, maybe I'm wrong. Like, I would upgrade in life, and I would go see these people, and like my life would drastically go back down. And at first, like, I was just like, maybe it's me. And then I started realizing, like, nah, these are just the type of energies that I need to not be around. These are the type of people I need to really stay away from. Like, it sucks being somebody who just want to see everybody else do good, because we be the type of people that everybody want to see us do bad. And it's weird, like, I'll never laugh at somebody's situation. People don't understand how fast you can get in that situation. Like, I don't have made a whole almost 10-minute video, or 7, and it didn't even save. See, certain messages I like to talk about and stuff do not want to get out, and I don't understand why. Like, people need this help, people need this encouragement. And why is it I can post about something stupid and it go easy, but if I post something about something deep, it's an issue? Anyways, the conversation was about you undeniably loving yourself and really being like, okay, I know who I am 110%, and I know, you know, I know my triggers. I know what is going to try to get in my way. You need to really be like, okay, dissect the situation 110%. Do not be afraid to leave and come back when it comes to, you know, people who live with your family or whatever, whatnot. And understand, like, it don't matter what it look like to anybody else, as long as you know the truth of the situation. Like, if you know the truth of yourself, if you know the nature of yourself, you know your abilities, and you know what you're capable of, go after it 110%. And that don't mean just jump on it or whatever one night, because you're going to end up where you are. I've been there. Like, plan it out and just go with your plans, and don't be afraid of opportunities that are coming your way. Because opportunities are going to present themselves to you all the time. Like, you just got to be sure to align yourself and be like, okay, I see that's exactly what I'm looking for. That's for me. And you got to just jump on it. And when it comes to support, if you're somebody with no support, like zero support, I mean, nobody, you have no friends, don't know family members, you know, nothing. If you're like that, understand that the most support that you're going to get is outside of your family. It's going to be people who you don't even know support you way more than what you thought you were supposed to have, and the support you thought you was going to get from your family. And it may suck at first, because you're like, man, I'm doing all this by myself, I don't know what I'm doing, you know, or like, you know what you're doing and you just wish you had that support. I understand that, but you got to be your own support. You got to be your own solid foundation before solid foundations seek you. Because like, when those types of people come around, you can't be the one that's imbalanced, because then it's gonna be like, okay, what are we here for? Like, if you understand yourself, you understand your plan, you understand what you about to do, then straight up full on go attack mode. Like, say you want to start a business, okay, take the steps to start that business. Plan it out first, you know, make a list and do what you gotta do, and just go along with the list. Like, don't try to cut corners, don't try to make shortcuts, because understand, like, when you make a shortcut, 9 times out of 10 you just making a U-turn, or you going towards a dead end. So it's best that you just full throttle go ahead and just like understand, like, it's gonna be difficult. Whatever path you choose to take is gonna be difficult, and it's gonna be really, really hard. It's gonna feel like you have no support, especially when you have to leave the people behind who you wanted to be on your team. Like, not everybody has, you know, a family that they can be like, okay, you know, this is what I want to do, this is that, and they'll support you. Because a lot of us have those family members that hate you because it's you. They had everything in the world to do the things that you're doing, but they don't have your creativity. They don't have your you know, your strength within you. They don't have your courage. They don't have your confidence. And if they don't have that, they can't be you. And instead of supporting you, they'll, you know, project their insecurities. They'll try to make you feel like, nah. They'll try to make you feel like you tripping, and the whole time you correct. So you have to 100% be confident within yourself, and 100% be confident in whatever you want to do, because you have to know that you can do it. If you know you can do it, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Like, you have to know, this is the path that I want to take. Not only this is the path that I want to take, I am 100% sure this is my purpose. I am 100% sure I'm gonna make it. You know, if you want to be an artist, practice it. You know, constantly sing, constantly dance, constantly draw, constantly just engage in your creative ways, so that way you can always just grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Like, whatever you want to do, you want to go to school, go to school. Don't be afraid of failing. Like, I'm not a person, I'm not the type of person to go to school, because school is just not for me right now. But I had friends and stuff who went to school, and they're just like, it's so hard, it's this, it's that. Understand, you're gonna fail before you pass. Like, you're gonna mess up before you succeed. You're literally gonna have those trip ups. But there ain't nobody perfect. Literally, you have to go through the trials and tribulations before you get to celebrate, before you get to have a good time, before you get to really be like, okay, this, that, and the third. You gotta understand. You gotta understand what walls can you break through. What can you get yourself through? And if you can get yourself through it, you good. Yeah, it's a little difficult. Yeah. You know, you be like, okay, is this for me? Yeah, you start questioning yourself, but don't ever doubt. Especially if it's something that you always wanted to do, don't doubt it. Like, don't jump from this thing and that thing to this thing because you think something ain't gonna work. Stick to that one something, and if it's constantly not working, okay, it's not for you. Or the funny thing is like, you'll think you're meant to do something in life, and on that path you'll actually find your original path. Like my friends who go to school, like they'll take classes for one thing and then be like, okay, well, I'm taking this class for it, but I like what this is, and they'll go after that and be super successful. So it's like, you can't even commit. You can commit to one thing, but don't put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure you got hobbies. Make sure you got stuff you like to do. Make sure you got stuff that you're interested in, that you can learn more about, because it's gonna put you higher and higher. It's like, a lot of us, like, we go through things when it comes to our mental health, because like our families literally, they kill the inner child before the inner child gets to be an inner child. Like, a lot of us didn't even get a childhood. A lot of us didn't get to have that freedom of a child and just be able to have imagination, be able to be creative, and just do whatever we set our minds to. Whatever our little hearts wanted, you know, it would always, I don't know, it was always something when it came to that that type of family. Like, those who know. Like, and you know, everything we tried to do, like if we tried to play a sport, if we tried to, you know, just do things out of the norm when it came to our family, we always were looked down upon instead of like congratulated. You know, I feel like if I have kids and they want to do something totally different from what I'm doing or what I want to do, I'm gonna be happy for them. I'm gonna try to support them the best that I can, because it's like, it's not my life to live. And like, a lot of us come from households where it's like, you know, you have to be like them. Like, you have to do this, that, and the third. You have to have these types of coping mechanisms. And it's wrong. It's wrong. Like, a lot of these households don't believe in individuality, and it shows. It's like, we can all equally be individuals and literally unite and create something great. But instead, it's like they want everybody in the house to be the same. They want everybody in the world to be the same. And then you got to think, like, if they think like that, they think the whole world is the same. And it's not. Nothing on this world is alike. Nobody on this world has the same fingerprints. So, I don't know. If you understand yourself, and understanding yourself will be really hard at first, because you have to soul search. You got to find who you are. But when you get to know yourself 100%, the projections won't matter. You feel me? People can say whatever, people can do whatever to you and make you feel insecure. The whole time it's them. It won't matter to you no more. It'll just fall off you like rain. And that's okay. Like, you gotta be, I've seen it. You gotta be okay with them doing them and you doing you. Like, think about it, because they're not okay with you doing you, because they're either afraid or like they're really competitive or this and the third. But if you're okay with people being them and you being you, you really have nothing to worry about. Like, all you gotta do is focus on your own insecurities, your own sight, and your own just way of life. And it's like, it don't matter how other people see it. It don't matter how other people view it. It don't matter how other people try to say this, that, and the third. And you gotta understand, like, when it comes to these type of family members, stop always wanting to be right, because they're gonna always want to have those arguments with you and want to say this, that, and the third, and want to do this to you just to make you feel wrong about doing right for yourself. Some of us had parents that literally forced the drink in our hand, forced, smoke in our lungs, because that was their coping mechanism. Instead of, allowing us to draw or allowing us to be athletic, they wanted us to stay in our rooms in solitude. They wanted us to be quiet, and they wanted us to just like ball up and just be nothing. Like, or some of us had parents that just overworked themselves to death, and they're not even dead yet, but their soul is. You feel me? And they're just like, yeah, you need to do this, you need to do that. No. Like, if you see life differently, then that's what life is for you. Like, they can't tell you how to live. They can't tell you how to breathe. They can't tell you how to cope with things. They cannot tell you about your mental health. So it's like, you got to make sure your mental health is on point all the time. Like, it's more than meditation. It's more than journaling. It's more than habits. Like, it's more than what you think it is. And until you realize it's way more than that, you're going to always think small. You're going to always see things as small. And it's just like, no, you're bigger than that. You're more than that. Oh, it's a butterfly right here. Oh. But it's just, and it's not about being right, because the funny thing is like, you can still be right and be wrong. Like, you can still correctly say this, that, and the third, but how you present it, or how you try to deem it, or how to like be judging somebody else for what they do, that's wrong. Like, you can't judge nobody for how they deal with their problems, how they find success, you can't just, judgment is out the picture. And I feel like once you take judgment out the picture, that's when you really, really figure out who you are. If you're able to take judgment out the picture, I feel like you're able to not even judge yourself anymore. So it's like your insecurities are gone. Your old ways of thinking are gone. Like, you literally have to adapt. And a lot of us, we be like, man, it's hard to relearn, or it's hard to learn something new. It's hard to do. You have to, because everything you were taught coming up was a lie. You have to create your own traditions. You have to create your own ways of thinking. You have to create your own wisdom. You got to tap into yourself. Because if you don't, you're just going to carry on what your family did, and you're going to be just like them. And like, it's a lot of people in the world be like, oh, I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be like my mom. I don't want to be like my dad, and da-da-da-da-da. But you're literally investing in traits that they are. Instead of having healthy habits and doing things that provide a healthy mental, you engage in activities that literally are lower than your vibration. And you can't do that. Like, if you engage in stuff like that, you cannot be like, oh, well, you can't want both. You got to pick a side. You either want the best and the best for yourself and a better life, or you don't. And you want to just continue to be where you are, or you want to be just like them. So it's like, what do you want to do, really? And you don't figure out what you want to do until you figure out who you are. So are you going to allow them to continue to make fun of you, or are you going to go out and be alone for a little bit and find the people who are just like you? Because in order to find real people, you got to be real with yourself. In order to find people who are just like you, you got to find you. For the longest time, like, I acted like my mom. Hopefully this, okay. Yeah, many of us take traits from our mothers and our fathers, and we, even if we don't know, our mothers and fathers, we take traits from them, and we end up being just like them on accident. And being like that, you attract things that you don't want. You attract people you don't want. Like, I noticed, oh, that is a huge yellow butterfly. I noticed, you know, I started being like my mom, and I started, you know, attracting, you know, people, like friends how she had. And like, as a kid, you notice all the bad things about these types of people, and you're just like, wow. But then when you get older and you have those types of friends, you be like, wow, like, if I'm being just like her, I'm attracting friends that she attracted. You feel me? In my own little world. And when I started noticing that, that's where I really just like cut everybody off. Like, I have no problem cutting people off, things off. I do not care. If it don't feel right, I will cut it quick. That 111. It's just me. Like, but understanding, like, okay, you gotta understand, like, okay, if this not good for me, and if I'm cutting this type of friend off, you know, what type of actions am I putting out there that I need to cut off myself? Like, what within myself do I need to cut? When I, like, well, how can I recreate myself and redo the things that I need to do in order to live a better life? And you find yourself in solitude. You find yourself real life overthinking and being like, man, like, I'm alone, I'm scared, you know, I don't know nobody, it felt like don't nobody like me, it felt like this and that. And you gotta move past that. You gotta like yourself. Like I said, you have to be real with yourself first in order to find real people. That's the only way. Like, until you be real with yourself, until you be like, all right, this is me, these are my principles, this is how I feel like life should be. Until you align yourself with that type of energy, you'll never find the life that you're supposed to live and the people you're supposed to be around. Like, you want a team, you want partnership, you gotta team up with yourself. You gotta be your own team, you gotta have your own partners. And it's like, until you get into that vibe, you're gonna always be in a strange position. And it's like, I'd rather be uncomfortable and grow and see where I go and see the people that I meet and the people who I'm supposed to be around than literally settle and like literally just constantly kill my soul off. Like, a lot of people are soulless. You trying to connect yourself with people who don't even have a soul. They don't have feelings. That's why they do you like